Hey guys, Kev here, and I have 5 more knives to talk about today. Let's just keep it going, baby. So the first one is from Concept. Whoops. From Concept Knives. And this is the Mistaken. This is actually a new Jonathan Styles design. So if you guys know Jonathan Styles, he is of Kaiser Militao fame. Probably the most popular production knife right now. One of the most popular production knives right now. These in particular from Kaiser with the DLC blades. The handles are actually PVD, if you didn't know. But the DLC blades are fantastic. I've tested it. Just marking it up with a bit driver does nothing. Excellent action on these. But anyway, he designed that. He actually also designed this. The Smolt. The Kaiser Smolt. This is a fixed blade that dropped earlier in the summer. And this is a version, I guess, that's dropping in September. September 1st, I think it is. This is dropping for Kaiser, one of their new products. I'll do a video on the new Kaiser stuff very soon, but that's one of them. So anyway, he has the Mistaken, and it's a concept build. Let me get a Q-tip here and just clean off the oil. There's a little bit of schmutz on the tang there, which is giving us a little bit of grab. Now you can see already from the way I started this video and the fact that I just failed it again, that I have a gripe with the flipper tab. And this is something that we see from Kaiser, this error, I guess, we see from them quite a bit, where they just don't jimp flipper tabs. And yes, it's a big flipper tab, but if you have anything on your fingers, like me, I have some wicked wax on my fingers because I was waxing up these Divo tall boys. Probably heard me talk about this in another video already, and I'm knocking out a bunch of videos tonight. And I have wicked wax all over my hands. And so they're a little bit slippery. And it's easy for me to slip off that flipper tab. And so I wish it had a little bit of jimping. Why not add some jimping to it, you know? I don't know if he designed it that way, maybe. But anyway, it's got an interesting handle and blade shape. It kind of actually makes me think it's a Paul Munko design. If you guys know Paul, he has some really cool designs with Kaiser and Concept as well. And it kind of feels more like a Munko than it does a Styles. But I mean, that's not a bad thing. It's just something I noticed. This one's in 20 CV. And again, it's the Mistaken. You have this cool sort of bronze color on the pivot collar and the backspacer and the studs. And then you have a black clip, black wash titanium frame, black pivot and hardware, a interesting sort of lanyard key ring dongle off the back here. And then you have a sheep's foot blade, a little bit of a poon spoon here. Now I can't really reach up to it because there's no choil. If I pinch grip it, I can get up there though. And you have that sort of utility blade there, stone washed. So interesting deployment options on this. I don't love it when you have a long flipper tab like that and you have studs. Because usually, you know, you need a really strong detent when you're going to have a tab like this because you have so much control, you can just kind of, you know, leak it out. But it does work if you actually try to flip it. It flips, or you can push button it. It works well. And the studs work well as well. They're not too strong, and they're not weak. So ultimately, they have it dialed pretty well, actually. It's more just me getting used to it. Good ergonomics. You have a little swell here, and then it kind of comes up and then straightens on an angle down here. It's not a huge knife. It's an interesting design. I don't know. Size-wise, let me see what I got. I got a Divo Stout. Probably dead on. Very similar. Yeah. Looks like you're getting a little more blade and a little less handle on the Stout, which tells me the blade to handle ratio is just a little bit better on the Stout. Let's see where we land on the blade. Yeah. So if you look at the end of the handle, because of this dongle, it's just a lanyard hole, and where it lands in the handle, you have a lot left over, so it just kind of throws off blade to handle ratio. Not really if you don't count that lanyard spot, but yeah, you can get a good grip on this. It has a flat grind, sharp. Yeah, let me know what you guys think down below on this one. I told them to just send me whichever version they wanted because all the versions were kind of unique and different. And I wasn't, like in love with any version, and I didn't have really any issue with any version. So it was like one of those situations. So I just said, send me whichever one you like. And I'm not upset that they sent this one. I like the copper carbon fiber. That stuff's been around a while now, and Concept tends to use it quite a bit, which is cool. And yeah, it's a cool knife. I'd definitely be curious to hear your guys' thoughts on it. It would technically be a bolster lock, can be reverse flicked, obviously, with those studs, thumb flicked with the studs, and you have the flipper tab. So fun deployment options on it, and cool design from Jonathan Stiles and Concept. That is the Mistaken. The next one is pretty interesting. This one is a OTF from Schrade. So Schrade is a US company, and this is called the Uproar. The Uproar is a OTF. It's made overseas. It's assembled in the United States with foreign and domestic parts. They have that on the box specifically. I don't know why it bothers me when companies do that. There's nothing wrong with it. I think it's a U.S. company thing. Companies that have made their own stuff in the past, they feel obligated to have that assembled in the U.S. thing. It's fine. They're not claiming it's made here, so that's cool with me. It is aluminum bodied. It has a D2 steel blade that is stone washed, which is nice. And it's $99. So I think it's actually a pretty cool piece from Schrade. The Uproar. I'm not sure if it comes in different blade shape configurations, but this is the double-edged dagger. I should say faux double-edged dagger, so it's not sharp up here at all, which to me is kind of pointless. I don't know why you do that. Just make it a nice drop point or something, but it is what it is. Some people love that. You have a pretty big switch here, but it works really well, I gotta say. It fires well, it retracts well, it's got good power on both. It's a small, compact package, that's what she said. It has a reversible clip. They were very kind, and they sent it with the clip on the left side for me. Very nice of them. But you can pull these screws out, flip it over, bang, Bob's your uncle, and you can flip it over. Aesthetically, it's not really my bag, so to speak, but other than that, I think it's functional. I think it's got a great price. Aluminum, D2, assembled here, $99. I mean, I can't complain about that. I think that's pretty cool. It's comfortable in the hand. It's kind of small, but, I guess it's meant to be sort of an EDC. I'll compare it here to the Axial Shift 3.0. I would say this is kind of the premium sort of line of company or a line of OTF, and this is sort of a budget brand, a budget model, if that makes sense. Different companies, obviously. This one is made in the United States. Has this beautiful titanium clip. You have a glide system. Ceramic balls under the switch there. Really nicely done. You got a really nice sheep's foot blade. Comes in a clip point, comes in a tanto, and a actual double-edged dagger. Magna cut steel, nice and sharp. Really EDC friendly, in my opinion. Great action. Aluminum frame with G10 inlays. So imagine that could be anything you want. Lefty clip again. I love this clip, by the way. It's so good. But size-wise, this is a standard OTF size, if you know what I mean. This is a UTX 85, probably Ultratech size, probably in between those two. It's a live wire size knife, and here it is compared to the Uproar. I'd say the Uproar is like a UTX 85-ish size. Not bad in size, you know. Again, this is kind of the more expensive premium kind of option, if you know what I'm saying. But the Uproar from Schrade. Thank you to Schrade. They sent this out to me. I appreciate it. I mean, look at that, dude. It's been ultra reliable, and it's a fun little OTF. So there you go. Schrade Uproar. The next one is from GiantMouse. This is a new version of the Atier, or the Atier. I'm going to go with Atier. I think I was corrected enough times the first time around. And this one's in burlap micarta. So they usually will do a burlap and blackwash version of their popular knives. I remember I had the Jutland in burlap and blackwash, I believe. And it almost looks like a gray wash. It is blackwash, but it almost has that appearance. It's really cool. Black hardware, brass backspacer. And there's only 300 of these. This is number 5 of 300. I do not know the drop information on this. I don't know if they're out, if they sold out, if they're coming. I'm going to see if I can find out real quick. I just saw something new. The GiantMouse Castle and Key Blue Titanium. That looks sick. What is that? Dude. Hell yeah. Is that a slip joint? No, it's a locking knife. Interesting. Cool. $325. Damn. Is this made in the U.S.? Castle and Key. CPM 20 CV. Oh, limited just 100 units. 50 to be sold at Castle. Oh, so it's like a collaboration with a distillery? That's freaking cool. Made in Italy. Okay. Cool. Good for you, GiantMouse. The Ace Bleaker, fantastic. I do have a link to GiantMouse. I will put it down below. It does help the channel, and you can get a discount if you use the code LeftyEDC. I'll also put a link to Concept. I don't have one for Schrade, but I'll link the knife. Just trying to find the... Oh, there's the Jutland. So, do they have a search bar? Yes. I think that's how you spell it. Carbon fiber, deep carry clip, green canvas, red canvas, titanium. So I don't see a burlap Atier. So I'm not sure when this is coming out. They didn't give me any information on like not to show it or anything. So I'm flying blind here. But I assume this is going to drop soon. And it's really cool. It really, I had the original Atelier in titanium, and it came back from pass around right around the time that this came in, and it was gone for a year. So that means that a lot of guys in the pass around wanted to check it out, right? It took a long time to go around, and that's good. That means it's a popular model. But when I got it back, I compared it, and I gotta say, the weight on the titanium one is just so heavy. It's gotta be like 5.5, 6 ounces. It's crazy. This feels a lot better. So the micarta gives you that lightweight feel. You know, you kind of have the Ace Grand Mini going on here, right? I think that's what this is, the Baby Grand, essentially. And yeah, it's cool. It's got the wire clip. You have the nice low profile short. Do I have? No, I don't have it, but short wire clip. I like that. And you do have liners on both sides and the brass backspacer. Those items add a little bit of weight, but it's not bad. Detent's good. Still has the pour lock bar access. As a lefty, doesn't matter because I can just push it out of the way. But every time I handle this knife right-handed, I remember because I just try to. This is how I close knives right-handed, and it's a struggle on this knife. So you just have to push it out of the way and do that. That's the one little gripe I have with it. Dead centered, feels great. Maniago on this one, and they did a good job. So this is the burlap micarta Ace Atier or Baby Grand. I have one more at the end, but let me throw in an honorable mention, one that I've shown before. This is the Reate Swordfish. And this version is in DLC, and that's why I want to point it out, because it's just really cool to see them do a DLC knife. So the blade is DLC, and they tell me the handle is DLC as well. I have tested it, scratched the bit, or used a bit driver on the blade, came right off, no issue. I wasn't able to mark it up, because that DLC, I mean, I don't even think I need to clean it. The DLC just does such a good job. Now, I also tested it on the handle, and I was able to, where'd it go? Shit. I was sort of able to leave a mark. I think it's right there. It's hard to tell. Yeah, it must be on this side. So it is DLC, but you can mark the handle a little bit easier than you would the blade because the material that it's on, titanium versus M390, right? So keep that in mind. That's what I understand during my research, that putting DLC on a titanium handle doesn't make it as tough as a blade would be, if that makes sense. You can reverse this to left-handed, which is really cool. I always love that. Reate is just doing really cool stuff. I mean, DLC, look at this. I think this might even be the Chinese fat carbon, and this is the only one I've ever seen that looks good. I asked them, I was like, is this camo carbon? Because it looks like camo carbon. But yeah, these are on their website. I'll put a link down below. I do have a discount code that gets you 5% off their whole website. LeftyEDC gets you 5% off, and you can use the link. That does help the channel. You have a nice thin grind here, nice and sharp. Just a really cool knife. I really like the Swordfish. Comes with this slip that you can, you can put it in this way, and then you put it in your pocket with the clip, like you would with a normal clip, and now you have a protected knife in your pocket. Which is a really cool way to go about this. And I've mentioned this before, but the Swordfish is the best gravity knife. It beats the Reate Exo because of the fact that even without me putting any pressure anywhere, you have some side to side, but you have no up and down. And when you squeeze on this part, which is perfectly set up for you to hold it, there's no side to side or up and down. So it's an absolute tank once you have a grip on it. And even without a grip on it, it's great. And then you just push that button up and it drops down. It's just such a cool knife. And that milling or whatever it is that makes it look like it's lasered on is crazy. Just a sick knife. That is the RT Swordfish from Reate, and I will be passing this one around as well. I already passed around the original one, but the one in DLC here is pretty cool, so I figure people might want to check that out. All right, the last one. This is a loaner from my buddy Backpack B, and this is the Alliance Design Keen. And this is a Corbin Steelworks design. So Corbin is the guy who designed the Knoll Knives Grace. If you guys have heard of it, great knife. Corbin Steelworks, belt satin blade, beautiful speed holes. Really nice pivot. You got like a 6-gun looking pivot here. Now it is a frame lock, so left-handed. It's not great for me. It also has the world's worst thumb studs. I hate these studs. I don't know why anybody uses these, but they're like rounded. Look at that. They're bigger, as in like this way, and they're rounded, and my fingers just slide off them. I don't know if it's just me, if I have like slick thumbnail or thumbs or whatever, but I just don't like these thumb studs. Now, another thing I want to note is that Reate is the OEM on this, and as we've noted in the past, they sometimes really suck at edge terminations, and this is a great example of it. I don't know. I'm not an expert on plunge grinds and edge terminations, but this just looks bad. Why not just cut a choil in here? You know, like I said, I'm not an expert. I have a knife coming out. This is the tall boy, and it's not perfect either. You can see the plunge grinds like right up to the edge. It's something that as we put newer knives into production, we're really trying to focus on it. Kubi tends to struggle with that. That's like one thing they aren't great at. So we have to be really cognizant of it when we're placing orders. And it's not the highest priority for me or Colin. So we've kind of missed on that a few times. And we've actually tried to adjust it on a knife before, and then it still wasn't perfect. And so it's a learning process, and trust me, I know it's something we need to work on, and we're trying. But this, to me, just seems brutal. I don't know. If you tried to sharpen this, you're immediately going to have a smile here, right? I mean, I don't know how else, you know. Yeah, I just don't like how it looks either. Personally, I'd like to just see a little choil there. And I think that would be cool, but as is, you can choke up on it, kind of nice, which maybe that's the purpose of that. I don't know. Or maybe because it's a hand ground belt satin, they have to do it a certain way, or aesthetically, they want to keep it a certain way. I don't know. But it's something interesting. Really cool orange peel on the titanium. Probably didn't notice that right away, because I definitely didn't notice it till right now. Very cool. And again, this was loaned in to me by my buddy Brent, Backpack B. And of course, he got it from our other buddy, Ev, Knife Ninja EDC. Really cool. They have a floating backspacer, which is always cool. They're a pain in the ass to install when you take the knife apart, because you got to put washers on and then lay them on. And then, but it looks cool. Satin, looks like polished satin backspacer. Simple clip. Looks like it might, yeah, be really tight, but you never know. Could be good. Good action on it. Very cool knife. I see why people love this knife. I just would like different studs. I would have thinner blade stock because it's pretty thick. I would like to see it left-handed, obviously, but that's just a minor thing. Let me clean the tang here for him. And that edge termination is not my favorite either, but it is a very, very cool design. And yeah. Let me know what you guys think on this one. The Keen. Oh, the blade shape's really nice, by the way. It's kind of like, yeah, it's probably what I would consider a spear foot, right? I've talked about this in the past. It's basically a spear point with a sheep's foot style to it, kind of. It's Colin sort of design language. And this is kind of in that wheelhouse. I love that style of blade because you can get to the tip easy for utility cutting, but it's also got a pretty, you know, normal blade shape for everyday use and whatnot. So cool knife. That is the Keen. These are expensive too, I believe, from Alliance Design. So that's it, guys. That's the video. This time we have the concept Mistaken, right? Yep, Mistaken. We have the Schrade Uproar. We have a good variety here, huh? We have the GiantMouse Atier in burlap. We have the Reate Swordfish in all DLC. Let's see if I can get this to sit. And then we have the Alliance Designs Keen. I'd be curious to hear which one's your favorite, which one you would take home if you could, which one you would throw in the trash, and anything else you guys want to talk about. I love you. I'll put links to anything I can. I have links for this one, and this one. I will link this one and this one. I've never had any luck getting a hold of Alliance Designs when I reached out to them, which, you know, is what it is. I love you guys. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace!